Thanks for inviting me. And my name's Dave Bardana. I'm the longstanding program director at Queen's. I've been doing this over 10 years now. Um, I've been privileged to see lots of my other programs, all the other programs, many times over. So I'm talking to you from beautiful Kingston, Ontario, which is halfway between Montreal and Toronto on Lake Ontario, at one of Canada's oldest universities. Our program this year actually consists of three CMG CARMS applicants and one IMG applicant. Typically, we do take four. That includes a foreign medical graduate, but we received an extra Canadian medical graduate position this year for reasons unknown. Currently, we have 15 residents and 12 full-time staff. There are three positions that have recently been vacated due to people moving on in careers or retiring that still need to be filled, but will happen probably in the next little while. So why Queens, or what makes us unique? As with Memorial, we're a small university with two hospitals that are conveniently located. We have fewer but more dedicated staff, and we do cover all the subspecialties except for oncology. My focus has been on trying to bring experiential learning because I firmly believe that you learn mainly by doing. So we, like Memorial, have maintained off-service rotations because we only have two surgical training programs, well, three if you include urology in Kingston. So neurosurge and plastics, vascular don't have a residency training program, so you get excellent exposure. And we've increased our simulation. So now it's almost a third of the academic teaching at Queen's, and that includes dry lab, wet lab, like cadavers, etc. We have stuck to what's called a spiral curriculum. We do service-based rotation, so not individual or preceptors. And during the service, you get your personalized training because you can choose where you want to go on a daily basis or weekly basis. And then you do rotations on every service each year of your training. So you get to see us over and over and over again. I am the sports service, and you will see me in your first year, or second year, third year, etc., all the way to your fifth year. We were the originators of the night float call system in orthopedics. I've been doing night float for, I think, 15 or 17 years. It's been a long time. Once we made the change, the residents never wanted to go back, and it's the same description as everyone else, one block of call per year during PGY 2 to 4. Kingston lifestyle, like Newfoundland and St. John's, it's a small city, convenient, but it is lively, and we do have exceptional recreation here. So I'll just go through quickly what the program's about. We have two main hospitals in town, tertiary care trauma center with all our inpatient, and a more ambulatory care downtown center. They're about 500 meters apart and it takes about 15 minutes to walk through a lovely park. I actually scooter to work and back and forth on a push scooter. We do have community rotations in surrounding centers. Brockville is about 45 minutes away. And then we do our oncology rotation at Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto, which is the premier center in all of Canada. And we do a Humber River Hospital foot and ankle rotation at the current moment, but community rotations can be done anywhere. These are the services that I mentioned. We have four main services, and they cover basically all of the subspecialties except for oncology, which is its separate own rotation. So what do I mean by experiential learning? It's similar to Memorial, one-on-one teaching with staff in the OR. We do have fellows, but we do limit them. And I rarely, if ever, see more than one resident in my OR. We do believe in early surgical exposure and responsibility. That we've maintained what I did when I was a resident a million years ago, which was a surgical internship with off-service rotations. And I still firmly believe that that has provided myself and all the residents since very broad surgical training and much more early exposure. Balance training is a big thing. I like to see residents 2 days in the OR and 2 days in clinic, and that leaves one day to sort of do flex. And the spiral approach is what we refer to as our repeat round and round and round you go with the services. This is really to gain iterative learning. So you basically get repeat exposure to every subspecialty, you get familiar with the staff, and you get repetitive practice of your surgical skills. So you can level up each year to more and more complex things. And I do think that over time, this produces a better surgeon. And then self-directed learning is really what you do on each rotation, which is resident determined. You guys choose where you go in our program. So this is what our program looks like in a 5-year plan. At the bottom is, where you start. And as you can see, 6 months is off service and emerge, radiation or X-ray and PMR, plastics, vascular and neurosurge, plus ICU. The rest of the time is spent on orthopedics. We do have electives that are spread between PGY 3 and 4, oncology rotation, and a number of community rotations. The last year after the written exam is a more flexible year. I've just sort of put an equal amount, but some people choose to spend more time in whatever subspecialty they're interested in. So our academic program starts with an orthopedic boot camp. This is for PGY 1 and 2 residents. It's hands-on, and it really is the basics of orthopedics, arthroscopy, arthroplasty, fracture fixation, etc. And then we have been using VR simulator. I was one of the early adopters. I do think that for those who put some time into it, it can be quite good in teaching the process of a surgical procedure, but it isn't like doing it, of course. So the VR modules are expanding and are quite good and certainly immersive. We run an anatomy boot camp every summer for 2 months, and basically is a cadaveric dissection program that is usually done by the PGY 2s and 3s, but all surgical residents attend along with an attending surgeon. Trauma rounds is sort of our one round that we do separately, and that's every Monday morning, and it's classic pimping rounds for those of us who live through that. Academic half day, we have chosen to do it on a Thursday afternoon, and it's completely protected. All the residents turn off their pagers and off they go. Of the 8 weeks, so a 2-month program, 2 of those weeks are specifically simulation. So one is a dry lab with sawbones doing high yield topics like hip fractures, etc. And the other one is a wet lab doing cadaveric procedures, going through kind of an EPA-based curriculum over a 2-year program. And then the rest of the time is spent doing topics that are geared towards passing the exam. So the surgical skill days are full days in the lab with attending staff, and then this is paired with journal clubs that I do it at my house. Some of the staff do it in some of the restaurants around Kingston, and it's a good time, and it goes from 8 till 4, and the residents actually really love it. And the curriculum, we have a subscription to OrthoBullets. I do think that this is quite helpful, especially in the later years in preparing for the exam, but can be helpful along, and it's not solely the sole source of knowledge, but residents do take advantage of this. So night float, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it basically is what everyone is talking about, 1 block a year, Sunday to Thursday. It's home call here, quote unquote, although residents don't get home much. Lots of OR time, and then first call. We try to put 2 residents, we put 2 residents on call with the night float every night during the week. There's a senior and a junior, and then they go home at 11 o'clock. And then weekend call is standard 24-hour shifts. So the benefit of all of this is really that you don't miss, when you're not on night float, you don't miss any clinical time, any educational time. There is no post-call days in Kingston. But it does suck during the 1 month of night float. However, I review it every year. The residents never want to change. So, and we've been doing it a long time. So why Queens? We're resident-centered. We're focused on training, and you will be given opportunities to be operating right from PGY 1 and 2. Of course, you'll become a competent surgeon when you graduate, and that's true of any program. But we're really trying to achieve is proficiency here, or excellence. Kingston's a great place to live. It is a university town, Queen's University. So it's a dynamic town, you know, tight-knit community. We are definitely walkable and bikeable. In fact, I rarely drive my car, and I have literally a push scooter, like no electricity, just my thigh. We are close to what I call the big three, with Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa really close by, all within driving distance. So if you do need a bit of the big city, it is not that far away. And then it's fantastic recreation. This is a summertime tourist destination. We have the Thousand Islands, the Rideau Canal, Prince Edward County. So it is a great place. We're really centered around water. So there's great boating, paddling, fishing. That's my kid holding that giant bass in the picture there, and golfing around here. So it is a great place, summer and winter. Kingston's got a great music scene. We're obviously the home of the Tragically Hip for people in my age category, but there are some, you know, pretty good bands coming out of here, like the Glorious Sons. And like most programs, we try to focus on wellness and, you know, treat our residents a good time. I take them out to my cottage every year. We go golfing, do all the fun things like paintball, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a quick view of Queens, and this is basically undergrad Queens with the engineers all purpled up. Great place to live, super lively, and close to some of the major centers in Canada. Thanks.